Now, go and ask any seasoned Formula One fan who are the three teams that carry a tremendous amount of weight and tradition in the sport. And of course, they're going to reply with Ferrari, McLaren, and Williams. Well, speaking of Williams, some great news has come out from the Grove based operation, and that is that current team principal, James Vowles, has signed a new multi year contract to keep him at Williams for the foreseeable future. This, in my opinion, is tremendous news and gives so much stability for Williams moving forward. For those that may not be so familiar with Williams' proud history in the sport, they entered Formula One in 1978, founded by the legendary Sir Frank Williams. But it wasn't until the following season that they entered with their own manufactured car. They didn't have to wait long. 1979, they picked up their first win with Clay Regazzoni, and the following year, their first World Drivers' title with no other than the last Aussie to do so, Alan Jones. A short wait, 1982, Finn Keke Rosberg. 1987, Brazilian Nelson Piquet. And then who can forget that beautiful Canon livery with that red number 5 on it? No other than Nigel Mansell in 1992. And of course, the following year, the little Frenchman, the professor, Alain Prost. Now, 1994 naturally started with a lot of optimism, the signing of the legendary Ayrton Senna. But unfortunately, that tragic, fateful day in Imola, we lost a great legend, which obviously is a dark stain on the history of Williams. 1996, Damon Hill finally gets up over his fierce rival Michael Schumacher and becomes a father-son combo, emulating his late great father, Graham Hill, winning the world title. And then the following year, Gilles Villeneuve's son, well, Jacques Villeneuve, in only his second year picking up the title. Now, going from this point forward, success, well, it was far and few between. Early 2000s, yes, there were a few podiums, a few things to be excited about, but ultimately, Williams, just their slide into the mid-pack was inevitable. There was a surprise win in 2012 for no other than Pastor Maldonado, and this to this day is Williams' last Formula One win. From 2017, 2018, 2019, they were essentially perennial backmarkers, quite often last in the Constructors' Championship. And at this stage, they were under the guidance of none other than Frank Williams' daughter, Claire Williams, but unfortunately, she was unable to turn the team around. And during this time, there was a lot of rumors that were starting to come out about the viability of the Williams operation, whether they were financially stable. Well, these rumors came to fruition, and midway through 2020, the team was bought out by Doralton Capital. Now, at the time, there was a lot of worry about whether they would keep the name or completely rebrand the operation, but thankfully, the Williams name and legacy continues on to this day, and we didn't lose one of the most prestigious names off the grid. But 2020, of course, was a terrible season, last in the Constructors again, 0 points, and things didn't really look too promising early, but at least they were financially secure. Now, regarding the signing, James Vowles, in his own words, he put up a post on X, and this is what he had to say. I am absolutely delighted to have signed a new long-term contract with Atlassian Williams Racing. Remaining at Williams was never in doubt, but I'm really pleased to have formalized it. This team has felt like home from the moment I walked through the door. It really is a special place, and we have an amazing opportunity to get back where it belongs, building on Sir Frank's legacy and winning world championships. We aren't there yet, but we're on the right path. We've done some good work fixing the foundations. To be clear, it isn't my work, it is your work. The great privilege of this job is getting 1,000 people pointing in the right direction to deliver results. We now have the platform to build from. We have the investment we need from Doralton, a world-class driver lineup in Alex and Carlos, top global brands as partners, and a growing global fan base. I'm excited as to what we can achieve together in the years ahead. Now, when we talk about James Vowles, he's a man with tremendous amounts of success. First entering the grid in 2001 with BAR, which evolved into Honda Racing. And of course, we know about the next evolution in that step, Braun GP 2009, and that beautiful world championship for Jenson Button, of course, backed up by Rubens Barrichello. The following year, 2010, well, the team was sold off and it became Mercedes. We know about their recent history, tremendous success, 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships, multiple championships for Lewis Hamilton, and of course, 2016, Nico Rosberg emulating his father, Keke, back in 1982, which ironically was in a Williams way back then. We can't forget those famous radio messages, Valtteri, it's James, which spurned plenty of memes and discussion around 2018 onwards. But like any good journey, it came to an end, and this is where Williams, well, they made that key change, and again, in hindsight, it was a good one. They were able to pull James Vowles away from the success of Mercedes and bring him into the Williams fold, replacing Jos Capinto as the team principal for 2023 onwards. Now, when James Vowles entered Williams in 2023, he inherited a team again on the bottom. 2022, they were the last of the constructors. He came to a team that just essentially lacked belief. The culture there needed a change. The foundations needed to be rebuilt. He came in and decided that it wasn't about quick results, but it was about getting the foundations properly set for the future, for the long-term success of the team. His first move was he hired key personnel staff, particularly in the engineering department, being able to pull key personnel away from rival teams. He built the team from 700 up to 1,000 people. He streamlined the processes, he modernized the facilities, but most importantly, he brought back belief, and he built a culture that was built on experimentation and failure. In his own words, it's probably best summed up by this quote: "We're back in failure to find the frontier. In other words, you don't learn by playing it safe." Now, in 2023, they did make some progress from the year before, led primarily by Alex Albon, who was in his second year at Williams. Alongside him was American rookie Logan Sargent. By 2024, the car had shown more pace, but unfortunately was notoriously hard to drive. Alex Albon did his best with what tools he had, but unfortunately on the other side of the garage, Logan Sargent struggled to adapt to the car and really just fell under tremendous amounts of pressure and was subsequently replaced later in the season by Argentinian Franco Colapinto. Now, one of the big key announcements in 2024 was on the driver front. They had managed to sign proven race winner from Ferrari, Carlos Sainz. This was a clear message from James Vowles and Williams that they were serious about the future going forward. Now, as we come to the mid-season point of 2025, Williams are sitting in P5 in the Constructors' Championship. Sure, the last few races have been a little bit underwhelming, but we can clearly see the projection from that 2024 car, the advancements that have been made, the performance gains. It is all coming together for Williams. Now, if you are a Williams F1 fan, you must be pretty optimistic about this contract extension for James Vowles. It's going to give the team so much stability moving forward over the next few years. You only have to look around the grid. Look at what's happening over at Ferrari with Fred Vasseur. Even in Red Bull, is Christian Horner's job still secure over there? So some big changes are going to be made to some of those rival teams. But when you look at Williams, they've got 2 established drivers that are locked in for 2026. James Vowles in behind the scenes, steering the ship in the right direction. I think come next year, we may see Williams be that dark horse and be a podium getter, which would be great to see if you are a Williams F1 fan, because it's been an awful long time to see them have any type of success. Maybe 2027 could be their year and they become winners again. But let me know what you think. Is Williams going to be the dark horse for next year? I actually also believe the next half of this season will be quite telling with Williams, and I think they may surprise us with a few really good results as well. So that wraps it up. If you like the content, please give us a big like and subscribe. It helps the channel immensely and will give us motivation to keep plugging moving forward. And until then, we'll catch you on the next one.
Valtteri, it's James.